evening, boys and girls. Figured I'd bring you along for a rather interesting ride. Stuck in traffic, and figured I'd share some joint experiences of Curry PC World of New Malden. Right, now the experiences are as follows. Going back about 2 years ago, I went and bought a laptop from Curry's PC World in New Malden, and the experience was okay. It wasn't brilliant, but it was nowhere near as poor as what I'm about to tell you. Now, yeah, okay, the service wasn't quite as pushy as could be expected. You know, a relatively tame experience, but that's about as far as my, pardon me, about as far as my good experiences with PC World end. I've been into this particular branch of PC World about 6 or 7 times over the last couple of years. Now, most recently, I went in there looking for the GoPro mic adapter, and initially was told, and this, bearing in mind, this happened about 6 weeks ago, that oh fuck my life, really? Anyway, sorry, that because the adapter was out of stock on their website, they didn't know when they were going to get any more in. But when I asked if I could order it, they were like, oh, don't know. And I was like, what do you mean you don't fucking know? You don't know you can order it? You don't know when you're going to get stock in? What, you know, what is the answer to that fucking question? What does I don't know mean? You know, some sort of fucking clarification as to I don't know. But naturally, no clarification was forthcoming. So I was like, oh no, fuck this. So then, you know, I signed up to their PC World mailing list on their website to get email updates as to when certain items were back into stock. Now, I figured I'd do that and see where I go. Oh, how fucking wrong I was. I should not have fucking bothered. I waited and waited and waited, and nothing was forthcoming. So I was like, nah, fuck it, I'll just buy it directly from GoPro. You know, it cost me an extra 50 quid on top of the finance agreement I've already got for the actual camera with PC World, but, you know, shit happens. So I'm like, okay, cool. I get the adapter from GoPro's main website. You know, had a bit of fun and games trying to get hold of it, saying, oh, you know, it'll be there within 3 working days, and it's out of stock, and it's back into stock, then it's out of stock again, and loads of other shit back and forth between me and GoPro, which eventually got sorted out when I threatened to cancel the order. But anyway, that's a different story. So I then, you know, get the camera sorted out, get the adapter sorted out, get the microphone sorted out. But again, this is where the good parts of PC World go absolutely tits up. So I'm thinking to myself, before I get this new microphone, I'm like, shit, all the microphones I've got are useless. You know, they're either only recorded in mono, or they've just got really shit tinny quality, or they peak too much. You know, every time you hear the pulse of the engine, it literally kills the microphone, like you can't hear fuck all out of it. So I'm like, nah, okay. So I go into PC World the first time to try and find a microphone that will work with this camera. So then, you know, I go in there, minding my own business, looking around. Now, for anyone that works in retail will know the answer to this question. How quickly should you approach someone when they go into the store? Now, bearing in mind, I walked into the store, I wandered around for about 25 minutes. No one approached me, so I had to then go and approach one of the members of staff. Now, for the life of me, I can't remember what the guy's name was, but that's neither here nor there. So I go up to this guy and I go, hey, excuse me, can I add something onto my finance? To which case I go, oh no, you can't add anything onto your finance agreement because of the fact it's one agreement. You can't have finance unless it's over £99. And I was like, no, I don't want a new finance agreement. I already fucking have one for the camera. I was told when I took out the finance on the camera that I had a £500 credit limit. The camera was £380. Therefore, that left me with, what, around 150 quid-ish to play with. So I'm like, dude, I've already got the finance. I don't need to start another finance agreement just to get a fucking microphone and an audio recorder. Bearing in mind this audio recorder I saw was only like 45 quid. So I turned around and said to him, look, I'm not being funny, but I don't want to start yet another finance agreement. So he was like, oh. So I was like, I'll tell you what, let me think about it and I'll come back to you. He was like, oh, cool. Naturally I didn't go back because the guy didn't have a fucking clue what he was talking about. So there's me, you know, walking away from Curry's PC World, thinking to myself, no, these people do not have a fucking clue what they're talking about. So with that I was like, nah, I'll just keep, you know, mooching around. I'm sure I'll find something eventually. So I went back in there 2 or 3 more times before I found the microphone I'm currently using. And every time I went in there, not one fucking person approached me. Not one. It was only at the time when I got to the till to actually pay for the microphone, I actually got some sort of fucking human interaction. So it was like, so I'm sorry, but when you work in retail, the idea is for, you know, you to go to the customer, not the customer come to you. You know, so I know from personal experience of working in retail that when someone needs help, they literally look for you. They approach you, they look around for you, almost as if to say, oh, help me. When you see someone do that, it's like, okay, cool, they need help. Now, my usual approach when it comes to customer service, like I say, being in retail myself, quite literally, I'll let them walk into the shop, fuck's sake. I'll let them enter the shop, have a look around, and then I'll be like, you right guys, do you need any help at all? Or if it's one guy, you right fella, do you need any help? Or whatever, you know, something along those lines, something nice and casual that's not going to cause anyone any offence or grief or aggro or whatever. So that's how I approach people. In Curry's PC World in New Malden, you don't get anything like that at all. Nothing whatsoever. The experience you get in Curry's PC World is more in keeping with going into a fucking supermarket. So, you know, you go into the shop, the first thing that happens is that you get fucking eyeballed by the security guard. You know, like you've got thief written across your forehead. And it's like, are you taking the actual piss out of my life? I'm coming into your establishment to buy something and you're going to look at me like I'm some sort of fucking common criminal. So with that, literally sitting there looking at the microphones and stuff like that, wondering which one to get. No one approaches me. So I think, fuck it, I pick it up, I go to pay for it. Oh, can we take your email address? No, you can't. Oh, but it's company policy. I don't give a shit. You are not taking my email address to send me useless shit via email. So, okay. So I'm like, good. You know, you're supposed to be helping me, not making demands of me as to what I need to do and how to do it. So with that, you know, I get my mic and I leave. Now, fast forward about 2 weeks. I'm at work, which is today, and one of the guys I work with comes in, bearing in mind he's on his day off, to he wants to go into PC World to go and buy a laptop. So he goes in there to buy a laptop, and needless to say, he doesn't have the best of experiences. So he comes in with a face like a smacked arse, and I say to him, dude, what happened? To which case he says to me, oh, the guys in PC World are dickheads, and blah 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 blah, and so on and so forth. So I'm like, well, what happened? And bearing in mind, this guy that I work with, he's more than just a little bit savvy when it comes to computers. So I'm expecting him to tell me that they tried selling him some shit or another, and this, that and the other, which they do. And I'm like, they can't do that, can they? And they were like, yeah. So he comes out of there and says, I'm not buying a laptop from them, they're fucking useless, blah 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 blah. So he starts looking on the computer to find cheap laptops and so on, and because he's doing this course and he's got 2 days to type up a shitload of coursework, which I know, granted, is silly on his part because he needs to get it done in 2 days. So I'm like, I think to myself, you know, that is a bit mental. You're not really giving yourself a lot of time to get all this coursework done. But, you know, I leave him to it. So he starts looking online for laptops and stuff like that. Can't find anything that suits his requirements. I mean, like I said, he's very savvy when it comes to computers and laptops and all the bits that he needs. So, you know, I don't question it, I let him do his thing. To which case, he then decides to go back into PC World and buy an X-Display laptop. Now, bearing in mind, I personally wouldn't have done this, but, you know, it was there, so he thought, fuck it, I'll have it. Only to then be told that because it's an X-Display, they were only going to take £3 off the fucking cost. Bearing in mind, this laptop's like nearly £400. 3 fucking quid off a laptop that's worth 400 quid. I said to him, no, that's a fucking joke. I wouldn't pay it. I wouldn't take that. I'd be like, no, it's X-Display. It's got no box. It's got no this, no that, no the other. He then comes back with this laptop, and this laptop isn't in the best condition. It's X-Display. It's got no box. It's got no instruction manual. Not even as a fucking goodwill gesture, they didn't even put a fucking carry case with it. So it's got no carry case, it's got no documentation, it's got nothing of any sort. So with that, he's like, okay, fine, you know, it hasn't got this, it hasn't got that, whatever, whatever. Then he goes to try and fucking use the thing. I need to then find out that the fucking laptop has got their display software on it. So he's like, you know, how the fuck do I get rid of it? And then he finds out that the software is actually locked. So he can't do a factory reset, he can't do anything. So he starts fucking around with the laptop trying to get it to work. And he's like, yeah, this ain't working. So he then takes it back to PC World. Only then, and you'll love this, only then to be told, oh, we can't do it now, we have to do it tomorrow or the day after. Like, what? He bought the laptop literally half an hour previous to getting into the software, and you're telling him that he can't fucking access the software to try and do a factory reset. It's like, you taking the actual piss. And I thought he was joking, but actually he wasn't. So yeah, anyway, the moral of the story is, do not buy anything from Curry's PC World, ever. And if you have to, just for the love of God, please, and I'm begging you when I say this, do not go to the Curry's PC World in New Malden. Reason being, they are shit. And on that note, dear friends, while I'm sitting behind a shit lorry, I bid you farewell. So I'll see you on the next one. Adios!